Hey, hello again. Thought I'd pop back on here because I wanted to explain about something that it occurred to me a lot of people don't understand. And this has relation to, to your eating habits, but also to any sort of habits that can be a problem for you. So, how do habits form? All right, well, first of all, let's say you've never had a Snickers bar before, right? I'm going to use that as an example because a lot of people know what that is, okay? And let's say the first time you have one, oh my gosh, it is delicious. And you know what happens? Your brain releases chemicals that give you a pleasurable sensation. Oh, this tastes so good. Well, the next time you go to the store, you see that Snickers bar and you think, oh, I'm gonna get that. Just seeing it in the store, you start having pleasurable sensations because you remember how good it tasted and how good it made you feel. Well, then you get to a point where just thinking about that Snickers bar makes you start having those pleasurable sensations. But, you know, the thing is, it's not enough to just think about it. That is your motivation to go out and get one, right? So I always like to tell people, you know, if you don't want to, for example, sweets are difficult for me. Once I get started, it's hard to stop. Well, do I go down the candy and cookie aisle at the supermarket? No, I don't. Because for me, all it takes is seeing certain things. And I've got that, you know, started that reaction in my brain that says, oh, yes, I want that. And it becomes difficult to not buy that and eat that, okay? So, you know, some people feel like, oh, I want to get to the point where I can just ignore these temptations. I can just go down that aisle in the market and, you know, not have it affect me. You know what? The fact is that the way our brains work, once something like that is in your brain, it's never going to go away, okay? It may get weaker if you can replace it with other habits, but it's not going to go away. And actually, this is a good thing because, like, this is why, for example, once you learn to ride a bike, you don't forget. Because your brain has established a routine. It's learned how to do certain things, and it stays there. Well, once you learn that when you see a Snickers, you get these good feelings, it's not going to go away. Why put yourself in a position where you have to fight against it? You know, don't go down that aisle in the supermarket. I've noticed that in supermarkets now, you know, whereas it used to be that every checkout lane had candy, now some of them don't have candy. They have other kinds of stuff there. But even if they do have candy, make believe you have blinders on. Don't look to the left or right. Look straight ahead, you know, so that you don't have to be tempted. You do not have to fight that battle. There are enough battles to fight in life, okay? You don't have to fight the battle of putting yourself in unnecessary temptation. Like, you know, there are churches that teach avoid the near occasion of sin. So what that means, like in terms of, for example, eating things that you don't need to be eating, the gambling, pornography, any sort of things. Don't just avoid that thing, but avoid even something that might lead you to it. You know, so for example, when you go to the supermarket, don't go down that aisle. Or, you know, here's another example I was thinking of. I have known, well, I'll use myself as an example, okay? Sometimes at night, I'll be watching TV and I'll get sleepy, but instead of getting up, I just stay there and sit in front of the TV. There may not even be anything on that I particularly want to watch, but you know, I'll just be flipping around, trying to find something to watch. And I realized that this is a habit. It's not that I that I want to stay sitting there. It's that I've gotten into a habit of doing that. And the thing is that at first, and it's kind of like with the Snickers or with gambling or pornography or, you know, anything that can be a bad habit. When you first form the habit, you form it because it's pleasurable in some way to you. But then after a while, the way your brain works is it just wants to take the path of least resistance and follow the same route it usually takes. So, the piece of dog hair, I think. Anyway, so there may not be anything on TV that I'm interested in or enjoying watching, but I keep on sitting there. You know, it's the same thing like I think a lot of men especially have a habit of falling asleep in front of the TV. And it's so frustrating to their wives. Do they need to fall asleep in front of the TV? No. What they need to do, you know, and their wives may need to help them, is kind of build a fire under them, get off the couch and get in the bed. But the reason that they fall asleep in front of the TV and they continue to do that is because their brain is taking the path of least resistance, following the routine or the habit of staying there on the couch, you know, and falling asleep. So if you look at it from the point of view that this can be a good thing, you know, like never forgetting how to ride a bike, for example, or not forgetting how to write once you've learned how to write, you know, things like anything that you remember. At first, you learn and you practice and you do it a lot, and it becomes something after a while you don't even have to think about, you just do it. But is it something that's good for you, that's benefiting you? Or is there maybe something you could be doing that's better? Or could you replace, you know, could you do something instead of that habit? Like, could you make a habit of when you get sleepy, getting up and getting in the bed? It's hard to start something new, but if you can manage it, it will really serve you well. And again, one of the ways of doing that is by avoiding getting into the routine. You know, like, you don't have to go up and down every aisle of the supermarket. It's okay if you miss certain aisles. Maybe when I'm watching TV, I should set a certain time where at that time the TV goes off. All I have to do is switch the TV off. Well, right then, that is helping to break up that habit of sitting there, keeping on flipping through things when there's nothing to watch and when I need to be going to bed. And by the way, sometimes when I stay up late, then I decide I'm hungry. You know, I'm eating things I don't need to be eating because I'm not really hungry. It's, you know, kind of a habit. Anyway, it's interesting to think about what are things that you do frequently? What are things that are habits or routines? And do they serve you? Are they helping you to live the life you want to live? Or maybe could they be replaced with something else? Oh, by the way, I'm used to Grayson, my dog, playing with his toys and squeaking and crackling and banging around. Hope it's not disturbing you. I didn't even notice until just now he's been doing that. Anyway, okay, so let me just also mention that on my health program that I coach, we are starting this Fat Burn Blitz on August 30th. And if you'd like to be involved in it, whether you're a former client, active, inactive, current, if you've never tried the program before, but you'd like to improve your health, maybe take off some extra weight, even gain some healthy weight. Some people need to do that. Maybe, get off some medications, because very often when your weight is not right, you end up having to be on medications. And when you get your weight, when you get your body in the right balance, very often you can stop having to take some medications. I have one client, for example, in his 80s who got off daily insulin because of being on our program and getting things, being able to eat healthy and hydrate, sleep, move, just do so many things in a healthy, balanced way. And he was able to stop being on that daily insulin for diabetes. So, when you put good things into your body, when you get good sleep, when you learn how to deal with stress in a good way, when you start replacing those bad habits with good habits, stuff like that, it just affects your whole life. So if you're interested in this, get in touch with me. I'd love to have you give it a whirl for, try it out for 30 days maybe. Okay, well, anyway, and I'm offering discounts and stuff like that, so get in touch with me. Alrighty, so think about what habits or what routines, what things do you tend to do frequently? Are these helpful? Are these helping you achieve your goal in life? Are they moving you closer to it? Or are they standing in your way or moving you in the wrong direction? We can all stand to think about this kind of stuff because nobody's perfect, right? Right, Grayson? Yeah. Yep. Can we get a tail wag for that? Little tail wag? Huh? Little tail wag. Okay. I'll talk to you later.